Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're with us this morning. Got a special guest here in the studio with some cool pictures. But first, let's take a look at our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and hard-working crew up there in Southport, taking care of everyday comfort needs all around the Florida Panhandle area. High today, listen, it's going to be 83, low 64. Water temperature appeared down to 84 degrees also, so we'll start seeing a little bit of that north wind we had last week, sort of holding back that warm water. So we're going to start seeing some temperature changes in that. Take a look at our river readings. We don't have our river readings by Mountain Dew, but we do have a report on the full moon. We're going to talk about it. Full moon is Sunday, the 9th. So this is an excellent time, right before the full moon of October. So be aware of that. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good, strong tide today. Looking at a low tide this morning at 8:47, and it's going. I'm sorry, the high tide then it's going out all the way to about 7:15 tonight. Okay, so we got those times together. Outgoing tide basically have a little bit of wind coming out of the west around 4. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with our guest. Okay, welcome back, and welcome back to our familiar face here on Panhandle Outdoors. How about it, Mr. Forehand?
Well, I've been busy, but that's good.
Jerry Forehand, with the outdoorsman over there on the east side of town, have been. We love having them on here. So you have been pretty busy.
I have. Well, we've still been catching crabs, but right now is not the best time to catch them because they seem to be a little lean. The lessons I caught.
You went the other day, so you think they've already done a lot of spawning? Or
they have. Very few out there carrying eggs, and most of them now we're catching are probably more male, and there's a little bit smaller crab. So I probably would wait till the full moon before I'd go back.
Okay. That's interesting to get this, because he's out there all the time. That's why I love having him on the show. He's just constantly doing outdoor stuff, and I know you caught many a crab.
We put up 25 pounds of lump crab meat this year.
25 pounds. Now, you know how much crabs that's great. And we've been, Gail and I've been over there and enjoyed some of those crabs and all. And I guess you're staying busy. What else are you doing?
Well, I'm redoing a house that I had bought to flip. So
okay.
I'm in the process now and got it down to the sheetrock. They're hanging and finishing the sheetrock, and I've got my cabinets. So it's rolling along pretty good. It's a little, but 1,800 square foot house with salt water behind it. So
that's good. That's sort of his backup job. He's really full-time job, the outdoorsman.
That's my favorite position, is in the seat of a boat.
Yeah. But you have been doing that kind of flipping, construction stuff your whole life, basically.
Well, since about '98 when I retired, pretty much from the full-time rental business.
Yeah.
I'm still in the rental business.
20 plus years.
Yeah. Yeah. I've enjoyed it.
Well, what about you crabbing? What about? I know we'll talk about red snapper in a minute, but I know you love going to the river.
I do.
And
spent yesterday afternoon. I fished about 3 hours.
All right, let's see. Let me see. I got a picture right here. See if we got to pull it up. We're gonna do stuff off my phone this morning, folks. See if that works all right. Because a lot of times you send this stuff to me and I transfer from my phone to iPad, but a lot of times it's just convenient to do it this way.
But these are hot off the press.
Well, we got to keep talking because it ain't picked up yet. All right.
Water's super low down there, and fished in one of the back creeks off of the Chipola, and that's where we caught our fish. We fished for about 2.5 hours and found some really nice shell cracker. Just a mixed bag. There, you can see them right there.
Oh, here we go. Check it out. What a nice mess of fish.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can't get the pastor to come over and eat some fish with me.
There you go. And I've never heard of a pastor not saying I can't make it when we talk about food. I always laugh about the preachers.
That's their favorite fish is a bluegill. And there's a pretty nice catfish my wife caught on that brim buster.
Listen, she can fish, can't she?
She can.
She caught that on a brim buster?
On a brim buster. She's got that in her hand.
Look at there. All right.
She still don't like to handle worms, but she will. You can see that glove.
So you're using worms, fishing the bottom, or?
No, yeah, we're fishing. Well, it's only about 3 or 4 feet deep.
There's
so
worms.
Yeah, we fished about 3 feet deep, and that was plenty deep enough for the shell cracker. And that was our major catch with shell cracker. We had 20 of them.
Wow, that's cool. You got them at the house ready to clean.
I got to clean them when I leave here.
That is cool. So how long were y'all fishing?
We fished about 3 hours, and had some friends down there fishing with us in their boat, and it's the first time they'd ever fished. I think they're going to buy them some brim busters because they were trying to rod and reel, and they just didn't quite catch what we did.
It's just something special catching them on a pole.
It is, and those shell crackers really pulled. And,
oh, I know.
And we had few fish that we couldn't turn. I mean, that's serious fishing. Of course, one of them was a grinnell, and we caught him. He was about this big, one of them big grinnells.
Well, let's talk real quick about just basic rigging. I know it sounds simple, but how do you rig yours?
Well, I like a line not quite as long as my pole.
Okay.
And I like a float cork. The smaller the better. If you're fishing worms, it takes a little bigger one, but if you're fishing crickets, the smallest cork you can get. The smallest BB shot you can get, I'll use one about like a mid-size split shot for fishing worms. I want it to get onto the bottom. But that's pretty much what we do. And I'd like to, when I'm fishing brush piles, which is what I was fishing, I use a heavier line because you're going to bend some hooks.
Yeah, what size line do you use?
Well, I'm using 15-pound test line.
Oh, you really?
I am.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because you use them little wire hooks, and you got to be able to bend them or re-rig. So that catfish was really, that you saw was really almost unbelievable.
Well, she landed all by herself?
Well, I forgot my dip net, so I had to catch him in the water.
No way, you didn't have a dip net?
Did not have it. Well, when I go crabbing, I take that dip net out, and I forgot to put it back in.
See, let that be. Y'all learn from that. All of us veterans and all, we forget things too.
We do.
We blame these rookies that just starting to fish. Well, you know, you got a reason. But now, you got to have that dip net.
Yeah, that checklist wasn't quite in my mind.
If you'd have lost that fish, you'd have been mad at you.
Oh, she would have been mad at me,
She'd been hit with a pole.
I'm afraid so.
Not really. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with Jerry. Okay, welcome back. Here with Jerry Forehand, an outdoorsman from way back, and also just constantly doing outdoor stuff your whole life.
I have, and the older I get, the more I want to be out there.
I know it. It's crazy.
It is. They call it retirement. My wife thinks I'm going to retire maybe eventually.
I hear the same thing. I know you do a lot of creek fishing. Chipola's a pretty area.
It is, and tributaries off of it.
All of them, and we're talking about creek fishing all the time on our Friday fishing reports, and we have a situation where you sent me this one here. I'll pull it back up. It didn't stay on very long. But you've been really good with taking your phone pictures. And owls. We're all talking about how the owls are behaving and all down there. So tell us about when you see your owl. Let's see. Here we go right here. Boom. Look at that. What is going on here?
Well, we were topwater fishing, and would you believe I'm fishing a frog, and he thought he was going to get my frog. And they followed me probably 100 yards, that one did, trying to catch my lure.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's been there before doing that kind of stuff.
He's seen somebody else's, and I imagine he probably got a fish off of somebody else.
You know he has.
You know, it's just a bad habit to feed them, I guess.
We took a couple more pictures. Look how well camouflaged they are.
Yeah. We actually had 3 different owls in probably a 150-yard stretch.
That's a really good picture, Jerry. That's another one.
See how light that one is?
Look at that. That's almost.
They're beautiful, aren't they?
They are.
And that's a big bird.
You don't realize how big they are until they come close to the
That's right. When they get close to you, you know, we used to have one in White's River that you could actually feed by hand. You'd catch a bluegill, and if you held that bluegill up in your boat, he'd come take it out of your hand.
Had them trained.
Now, it scared people when I'd say, all right, just hold it up. And, you know, they're precise. They're not going to get you. But first time my buddy did it, the bird got almost to him, and he panicked, and he dropped and didn't let him have it. But the next time, he did feed it.
y'all got to do that again. That's gonna be some good video. One of y'all hold it, and one of y'all do the video.
Hey, I'll bring you.
Okay, I'll do it.
Your game.
That'll be fine. I might want to put a glove on though. All right, you also sent some pictures. We got your little grandson here. I know he enjoys coming up and spending some time with you.
Yeah, that's Aiden. They live in Melbourne, and I bought him a Shimano. A rod and reel set. Well, actually, my friend gave me a rod for him, Mike Parrish, a new casting rod. So I got him a Shimano bait caster, and he can outfish me now on worms. You can see that's in his backyard. He's pretty sharp at throwing that thing now without a backlash.
There's something special about having those ponds and all close to your backyard.
It is.
Or in the neighborhood.
It is.
Now,
Yeah.
this story here.
Yeah, we had went to another pond, not the one behind his house, just right up the street, and it's kind of surrounded by woods.
Okay.
And so we kept, I think, 4 or 5 bass for them to eat, and I was cleaning them in the side yard on my ice chest. They didn't got a cleaning table down there. It's a Horton development.
Melbourne don't have a lot of cleaning tables in
No, this is a Horton development, 1,000 houses seems like.
Probably.
And so I'm cleaning them over there, and when I clean him, I feel something in his belly. And I said, well, I got to find out what that is. So I took my knife and cut his stomach, and this rattlesnake was in. That is a rattlesnake. He wasn't but about 14 inches long.
Oh, man.
But a 1-pound bass had eat him.
Oh, my goodness.
And you can barely see the pattern. He'd started decomposing just a little bit. Wow. And I messed him up a little bit more. I thought I could wipe some junk off of him, but the skin was a little loose.
Wow. Now that tells you how bass, they're just
anything.
They'll eat anything moving.
If that fish was probably 12 inches long and he ate a snake longer than him.
That tells you something. Yeah.
Throw a big bait, I guess, sometimes.
Those bass, really, I've talked to some old timers and all them. I used to collect a lot of old bass fishing lures, and I was always tickled. You know, you had the frogs and all the minnows and all that, which you understood. But I started seeing these little baby duck decoys, little duck lures, and they were, especially those guys up around Georgia and Alabama.
The guys like fish the reeds, they throw a big old furry looking thing. It looks like a baby blackbird.
Yeah.
And that's what they catch their big bass on in some of those reeds.
Just anything moving and all.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the last picture. Saltwater fishing in August. What about this picture here?
Well, too bad snapper was out because we couldn't get away from him.
Oh, man.
Could not. We're trying to catch us a grouper. And I'll bet you we caught 20 not trying to catch them. Now, the good thing is we released them because it was not real deep water.
Yeah.
And every one of them took off for the bottom. After some of them we thought we needed to vent, and we did. And boy, they just took off right back down. So they're still there, and I think we're going to probably hold that number and go again during snapper season.
Yeah, and that water pretty calm. That's pretty.
Oh yeah, it was a beautiful day. The fact is, I would rather it be just a little bit rougher.
I know, a little bit of activity. Okay, what about this picture here?
Well, that was, I mean, there was 4 of us, and that's how many fish we were able to keep. Black snapper and as a.
If you had
they're all the black snapper, a lane snapper, but you see an unusual fish in there. We caught this. I think you got one more. Well, there's a cobia. We caught a 36-inch cobia, and we caught one black grouper. Yeah. And that was our keeper catch. But there's a poisonous-looking fish. Couple more down.
There. Okay. Yeah. Well, right down the center. Is that it?
Yeah. You'll have a better picture.
Okay. And then
all right. Those are the fish we were catching. That size right there.
Goodness gracious.
You know. And there he is.
Woo! Tell us about this one.
Well, that's the one that eats every other thing out there, and they have this special time to kill them. Is a lionfish.
Lionfish.
That's only the second one we've caught. That's the biggest lion we've ever caught fishing, and we did keep him and fillet him and eat him.
How did it taste?
It's really good. Other fish taste about as good, so I wouldn't go out there and try to catch a mess of them. But it was just unique to catch a big lionfish. And
were those spines, were they pretty strong, or
they?
Did you feel them?
Well, you cut them off first.
Okay.
You know, and we ice them down overnight. And the saying is, if you ice those down overnight, they don't prick you. the next day, and it loses its sting factor.
Okay.
But we ice them down anyway, because when we get in at dark, everybody goes with me. They know we see the sunrise and we see the sunset generally sitting in that boat.
Yeah. Yeah. That's old school fishing, right?
It is. Well, if you're gonna drive 50 miles, you probably they're gonna get their money's worth.
Well, that's good. And give out the lionfish, they're talking about it being so invasive, they're getting all over different places.
They are.
So that's interesting.
So I would never turn one loose.
Yeah.
He's gonna get killed.
That's good. All right, let's take our final break, and we'll be right back with Jerry Forehand. Okay, welcome back with Jerry. We're looking at some really cool stuff. We're gonna go from fishing now. So he can grow anything, and I'm gonna show you the picture first. And Jerry, tell us what this is right here.
All right, those are Loofah Sponges, which the ladies know about them.
Okay, that's one picture. Okay, let me show you the other picture now. Okay, here they are now. So it grows up beside the house and all over.
They climb on anything. If you have a 10-foot tree, they'll climb 10 foot. If you got a 30-foot tree, they'll climb 30 feet.
Okay, and it's Loofah, Loofah.
F-A-H. Loofah. You can look those up. Most women know them as a body scrub.
Okay.
It's a defoliant, and hey, when I'm really got paint on me, hey, it's a good paint remover too when you're in the shower.
This is okay. So you got it in 3 stages.
I've got 3 stages. Okay. Yes. This is the first stage right here. That's quit growing, and so what we're looking at there is it's in the process of losing its weight and the inside solidifying to where it's not stringy. This is the second stage. You can actually maybe hear it rattling like a rattlesnake.
If I heard that, I was going to be thinking about a rattlesnake.
Oh yeah,
that sounds just like it.
And this one's totally dry. That was on the same vine with this one, and so you have to peel the dark off of it, and then you end up. This is one of the sponges right here that I use. Put it next to my jacuzzi. It's a great scrub. I've used that for 3 years.
Wow.
And it gets used pretty good. It'll just go back to dry real quick. But
so that's right on the inside of here?
It's on the inside, yeah.
How about that?
And
is that cool or what?
If anybody's interested in it, I mean, you can order seeds. If you know me, I'm going to have a lot of seeds. When you figure there's probably 100 seeds in this one right here.
Now you say it is edible at times? Or?
It is when they're small. It's of the
squash family.
Squash family, in essence. And so, well, actually, it's a gourd. And but the small ones, they say you can eat. I've never tried it. This is what I grow them for, the sponge effect of it. And a cute story is that my friend that fishes with me, David Conrad, his wife planted them. Hers got really tall after about 2 weeks. They were really growing. And she went out one morning, they were gone. She's got deer in her yard.
Oh, no.
And they eat all of her vines up.
Isn't that amazing how deer can find anything?
They can find, I told them, I said, I'll give you seeds for next year. You just have to fence around it.
Yeah.
6 foot up, and then you can grow them in the tree because they won't.
So it wouldn't do any good to put them in a food plot because they're not going to seed out.
No, they won't.
Temporary. They'll eat them in 1 or 2 nights.
Oh yeah. Once it starts growing, and it probably wouldn't get 10 foot tall. It'd probably get a foot tall.
Yeah, sorry.
And the deer's bad about that. But they're a unique sponge for this area. The seeds I had were probably 20 years old. So, I mean, it's a hard seed. I planted them, and they just popped right up. It was amazing.
That's cool. Well, I appreciate you bringing all that. We've got a couple minutes left. That's really interesting.
I'll make sure your wife gets one of these. When I get it cleaned, I'll give you one, and you can show the people later.
She'll want one of the big ones hit beside the head with.
Yeah. Well, it don't weigh nothing. If she's going to hit you, that's what you want her to hit you with.
Okay. Well, real quick, we've got about 2 minutes left. I know floundering and all. This is a good time of year to go floundering.
Yeah.
And we don't have much time left in the season. So have you had any luck? It started.
The other night we were crabbing, and I saw one about probably 18 inches long. But I wanted my wife to see it, so I put off gigging it.
Yep.
It ran. I found it again, but the second time I couldn't get quiet to it, and it just off it was.
Well,
But
you're a good husband.
I wanted her to experience that.
That's good.
You know, she does go with me some.
But, it was good, 18 inches.
It was a nice size flounder.
That'd been a good meal.
Oh yeah, I've been gigging quite a few mullet though, and they have been fat. And now the roe is probably about the size of your finger now.
Okay.
So I had some roe the other night.
Good for you.
I did.
That's the first I've heard of it right now.
So they're growing, and this month coming up, they're going to take off.
Yeah, it'll be a good time of year. So that's good to hear. That red roe's good, ain't it?
It is. It's, you know, us old-timey fellers, we love mullet and we love the roe.
I tell you. So I noticed the other day I was coming across the Tyndall Bridge and looked over. I always look over toward the boat ramp, Gilbert boat ramp. It looked like they're building a fishing pier.
They're going to build a big fishing pier right there and that'll get them off of the boat ramp pier.
Yes.
So they'll have that big pier to fish on, and it's in the start phase now. So that should be a real compliment to the city.
Nice. That's going to be really nice to put one there for the fishermen to go. Yeah. There'll be some nice fish caught off.
There's always some people there fishing at the boat ramp, and they know me by name because when they see me.
And probably not enough room for everybody.
No, I gave one guy some crabs the other night. He said he had to take his wife some home, and he was trying to catch them, and he only had 2. So I said, get what you want.
That's something about what you hit the nail on the head right there. How outdoorsmen do. We share so much of our food and stuff, and it's just they appreciate it.
Yeah, I saw him again last Friday.
Oh, cool. Yeah, he'll get your schedule down.
I told him, I said, next time you see my truck, put your name on my windshield. I'll call you.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Well, Jerry, we got to wrap things up. It's always great to have you, and we got to get together sometime this fall and do some stuff together.
I look forward to it.
It'll be a lot of fun. Folks, this is Panhandle Outdoors right here. So this is what we talk about on a regular basis. So we always appreciate having folks like this come on and share their knowledge and all with us. So appreciate it. Appreciate y'all watching Panhandle Outdoors. We always appreciate what y'all do for our sponsors. Y'all have a great day today. Do something good for someone else, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.